Hello racers and welcome to today's video. In today's video is Mini-B On-Road Season 4 Episode 2. So when we looked at last week's episode 1, we saw that the car was just struggling a little bit with front grip on corner entry at the end of the long straight. Just needed some more front grip. We saw that we were struggling with that, placed well in qualifying with second, but in the end finished about third or fourth. So go back and check out that video and see. So today we'll do some minor tuning and we'll add in some new parts. We'll take a look at that in a second. The minor tuning we're going to do is we're going to change out the front spring. Currently I have the hard 3-pound-inch springs in the front, and I'm going to swap back to the gold springs, which are 2 1/4 pound front springs. The stock springs are the 1.3s. So right now I got the 3-pound in there. I'll switch it back to 2 1/4, and we'll see if that allows the front end to roll a bit more in the corner on that entry and give us a little bit more front steering. Also, I was running a bit of toe in, so I'm going to toe the front out just slightly, and that gives a bit better initial steering when you first turn into the corner. So I think those two changes should help out. When I was reviewing the car though, I'm not sure when this happened in race day, but you can see the RPM arm pulled out of the pin in the bottom, probably from a collision. So we'll repair that up, get this back in shape, test those new changes. And also on the rear of the car, I still have the dog bones in the car. What I'd like to install is the TLR CVA Driveshaft set. Now these come with CVDs for drive shafts. In previous videos we did some testing with some universals from the Mini-T, some CVDs from other companies. We did some tests and they did work well, although I find they were a little bindy in the area at the top because I use the MIP ball diff in my car. So I want something that finds a little better, and I also like this idea because it has a large bearing in the rear, which I think might help with, just overall help to have bigger bearings running in the car. Now this system runs deeper into the hub, and what that should do is loosen the rear end just ever so slightly. Further into the hub would reduce that, would loosen up the car. So we'll give that a try. We'll put those on, we'll try them. So changes this week: a little bit lighter springs to allow the front to roll a bit more. We're going to use a little toe out, and then put on the CVA drive shafts. Okay, let's go to the track. Let's test it out in a qualifier and see how we do in the final. See you there. Hey racers, before I button this up, I just wanted to show you the CVD universals in place. So what you get in the kit is you get a new rear hub, and it's a little bit beefier than what comes stock. Comes with a standard bearing on the outside, and on the inside you get a very large bearing. And you can see here the CVD. And if you notice on the side of the CVD, I don't know if you can see that, but the pin goes through and it's captured by that bearing. And here I'll just put that through and we'll assemble it. So you can see here, as it goes through, you can see that it captures flush with the bearing. So that puts the joint basically inside the hub. Now, what does that do? Let me just expand the old camera, and we'll take a look at invisible speed and see what a universal versus a CVD does. So, and basically in these pictures you can see a universal, and what you want to notice is how far the joint is from the axle. Okay, so you can think of the dog bone moves the joint further towards the center of the car than inside. So when the joint is on the inside of the hub, it gives you the most initial grip. So on power, because the joint is out there, what the joint will try to do is straighten out on power, and that'll drive the tires into the surface. So you get more initial grip when you have your joint move further out into the arm. Gives you the most aggressive steering because the rear is a little stiffer. Gives you the most on power support, stiff feeling rear end, more rotation on power. And he gives a little example here of a different universal, and you can notice the universal part is closer to the hub. The middle setting, good compromise. It gives you more overall grip, where when you move the joint further in, it gives you initial grip, but it kind of removes it off power. And now the CVD at the bottom, it gives you the most overall grip, but the least rear support, because now the joint is inside the hub, basically in the tire. It reduces the overall angle of the joint. With the long dog bone part, you reduce the angle, so you're going to get the least amount of joint angle, and that gives you the least amount of rear support. It says it's more consistent grip in corners, but can lack support or initial grip out of power, on power out of corners. And we took a look at the video, and that is not the issue with this car. It has lots of grip coming out of corners, and he considers that the easy setting. So invisible speed says that this will give us a little bit more rotation, a little bit more overall grip, but a little less on power grip than we would have had with the dog bones. So let's go take this, try it on the track. We'll see you there. And here we are, A-Main final. So this week I qualified second, so I had a good week. The changes we made were good, but what happened in this race is I put a bit too much traction compound, and this is a bad sign. That's me going down and adjusting the front shock collar on the left side of the car. And what I was trying to do is I tightened that left collar down, and I was trying to get it to push around the corners. What I noticed is that the front end, from the previous week, we had a push going into the corner, so I put too much traction compound, and now the car is about ready to do traction rolls. So I try to do an on-track adjustment there. Let's see how it goes. So at the start of this race, in second, you see the white car. He had a great qualifying session, is in the lead. Yellow car is second. We just went under the bridge. You can see the car has the speed to keep with them, but you can see that the front, going around the corners, you're just watching that top left or top right, you can see that it's kind of notchy there. That's the front diving really hard, and the rear kind of diffing out. Gives you that square type of look around the corner rather than a nice smooth drive. So every corner, just losing a little bit of time because of that. And you can see it a little bit squirrely through the infield. It's a little vague feeling in the infield and the slow stuff. But where the car was really having a struggle is in that top right. Here we go under the bridge. Let's follow it a lap. See, go on the straight. And in that top right, it has a bit of a hitch to it. So far, white car, tagged the corner there, lost some precious time to the leader, and that brought me into getting into the clutches of the winner of last week's race, the orange and white, right behind me now. As I go through the inner field and under the bridge, once again, just working the throttle, keeping it from traction rolling at the end of that straight, top right. Under the bridge, onto the straight. Now, as the race progressed, the compound was wearing off, but it was still very touchy in the front end. And you see I struggled there through the corner, through the infield there, going pretty good. Now the green car, right, again, another hitch there at the end of that straight. Now the green car is caught up right behind. You can see that his is very quick. Just tailing me now. Very difficult to get by, to get away. You see we're onto the straight, closing that gap within inches. He's looking for a way to sneak by, looking for any opportunity onto the straight top right, going through the hairpin, the bottom right. Around the infield, again, within inches. So he's much quicker through the infield. And I'm struggling in that corner top right, so it's just cat and mouse here. See, I go through that corner, I have to ease off, and he just gains so many feet through the infield. Oh, a little bit of a tag there by the green car. Bought some time, but he's gaining quick. My car is working slowly better each lap. The exhaust that I put on the front tires is slowly wearing off, getting a little better each lap. Go around the inside there. Oh, big wide corner there, but tangled with the green car. So that set him back quite a bit. So a little bit of an awkward moment there. And now the first place car is right behind me, so I'm about to go a lap down between a few little tangles and struggling with the car. A little bit of an incident off camera there. Bottom right got flipped. Marshall was right there, so that was a quick Marshall. But in all that, we can see orange car with a white wing following close behind again. He caught up. Here we go under the bridge, onto the straight. Still that hitch in the top right. I'm going to have to really analyze this video to see if it's doing that off the front. I think it's off the front that it's developing that. Let's really keep a watch. You can see it gets very hard to handle up there. I really went the wrong way with the grip. Well, you can see again, each time I go through there, I believe the front dives and then it hooks in, kind of lifts the rear wheel and makes it hook into the corner. So that's what we'll have to focus on next race, is that smoothing out that corner. Although no complaints on corner entry this race. It's all a little bit too much grip. Here we go through the infield, under the bridge. Now there's the white car ahead. Now he is a lap up. There we go, under the bridge once again, under the bridge. Onto the top right, through the hairpin. You see the car has mellowed out quite a bit. Onto the straight, down. Through the infield now, through the little keyhole. Onto the straight, away we go. Now we're in the dying moments of this race. I was just content to keep with the leader, and I think the leader was quite content to have me sitting in behind. I don't think he was pushing too hard at this point. Let's just enjoy the last few laps here. The race is winding down. Green car is slowly catching. Oh, he did tag. Oh, and I think what we have now is the race completed. So there we go, finished second for the day. So if you like this type of thing, click like, click subscribe, and comment if you have any comments. We'll see you in the next video.